Good evening, everybody. Today, I'm going to be touching on something that's very personal to myself and probably personal to you too. And you ever been in a situation where there was a person that was made fun of and you could see the expression on the person's face and they were really, really upset by the words that was used? For example, say there's a kid that's being made fun of because he wears dirty shoes, and the other kids are poking and making fun of him, and then they start laughing and laughing and laughing, and the other kids chime in on it, and then the kid that's being made fun of, all of a sudden you see the kid starts to cry. That's really sad. So what I want to read today it's James chapter 4, verse 7 through 11. And let me read this to you. It's going to be coming out of the King James version. It's the New King James Version, so let me read it. It says, "Therefore, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and he will draw you near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Lament and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to gloom. Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, and He will lift you up. Do not speak evil of one another, brethren. He who speaks evil of a brother and judges his brother speaks evil of the law and judges the law. But if you judge the law, you are not a doer of the law, but a judge." And we are not to be judging others. I mean, I'm guilty myself. I've made fun of people, and I felt really bad about it, and I had to walk up to them and ask them, "Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't really mean to hurt your feelings." And there's sometimes I don't. And later on down the road, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I really hurt that person's feelings. I wish I didn't." So what I want to read to you, well, what I want you guys to do, if you don't mind, I've done this before, and I'm going to do it again because this is something that might uplift you, and I hope that this kind of inspires you to do better. So if you guys don't mind, just get a piece of paper. I give you a few minutes to find one, and while you're looking for one, I want to explain that times are difficult right now, and things are getting really, really crazy, and we just don't know how to handle certain things, and we need to learn to uplift each other. I mean, just try to encourage. Quit trying to discourage the other people around you, because we need to learn to live more in harmony, because it's hard enough as it is the way the world is, because it's just so evil. I mean, look around you of all the evil that's going on. But if we learn to uplift each other, it makes it a little bit easier to understand. Say, "Hey, you know what? I'm really lost. How do I deal with this? Can you help me?" And it makes things a little bit better. It makes things a little bit lighter. And yes, there is times where it's difficult to do that, but we're going to try. So I hope everybody got a piece of paper and a pen, of course. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. But what I want you guys to do first is take your piece of paper. I'll figure it out somehow. Okay, get your piece of paper. And what I want you to do is draw a line on it, just like I did this right here. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's a line right there. There's a line right there. Let me see if I can get a darker marker. Let's see if this works. So we're going to draw a line. Okay, you got a line on your piece of paper like this. Okay. Now that you draw that line, I want you to draw a squiggly line underneath it. Okay. Okay, draw yourself a squiggly line just like that. Okay. Now, whenever you guys do that, I want you to look at this piece of paper, and this piece of paper, it represents a person, okay? Just entertain me for right now. It represents a person. And the straight line actually represents someone that has tunnel vision. They don't want to know anything, they don't want to see anything. They just see what's in front of them, and that's it. However, if you look at the squiggly line right here, the squiggly line actually represents us. We're a person that believes in God. And this is where these verses come into play. And what I want you to see is that the squiggly line, if you noticed, let me get right here, it starts right with a straight line, you know? But the thing with the squiggly line, it goes up. And that's because we rely on God for everything to lift us up. And there's some times where the devil, he tries to interfere, and that's where our line right there, our valley, gets there, because the devil tries to get in there, and it's just, the devil is just too much, and there's too much evil out there, and we need to learn how to lift up again, and we lift up again. And then we get, yes, we have downs, but we go up again. And then we go down again, and then we go up again. And we go down, but it's not as deep as the other ones. That's the beginning, because the beginning of our struggle, it seems like it's the bottom, but we know what? We can keep on going. We keep on going. And if you notice that our squiggly line actually goes past the straight line, okay? And whenever we humble ourselves, we're able to go past the bad things that are in our life, because we know that we can depend on God and depend on what He wants us to do in life. And we can just surpass the person that has just looked straight forward. However, there's something that we can do about that. Now, what I want you to do is connect the two lines together. Okay? Just as I did right here, I connected them together. Okay? Now, if you remember what I told you at the beginning of this, I told you this piece of paper actually represents a person. And the squiggly line represents two different types of people. But we're all the same piece of paper. Okay? Now, if you notice, though, whenever you joined it together, it made a different picture. And the reason why I made a different picture is because we have to learn to join hands. Not literally, but we need to learn how to join together, hold on to each other, and make a better picture in life. Because if you think about it, a straight line is boring. It's very boring. You don't really have any art with a straight line. But with a squiggly line, we have our own unique squiggly line. And that makes us very unique. And if you think about it, if we even straighten up our squiggly line, it even goes past the straight line. But we need to learn not to go past too far, because the people that are the straight line are going to be lost in the dust, and that's not always good. Now, as you notice, when we join them together, there's no in between. There's nothing that can get in there. Just like Satan cannot get in there, because we are going to help those that are hurt, those that needs help, even though that they say, "Oh, I don't need help. I'm just fine." No, you help them out. You try your best to help them. I'm guilty myself. I don't help everybody, but I try to help everybody. And when we do that, it makes things easier. It really makes a big difference. And we can have a better picture in life when we learn how to join together. And we need we need to learn how to grow together. And there's some pointers I wanted to bring up. It's just that we need to, when we join our lines together, we're humbling ourselves. We are just joining together, and then the devil cannot get in there. If we learn how to join together, if we learn how to show that we care for one another. And then it says right here, if you struggle and you keep on going, God loves that, because you're not giving up. You're not going to let Satan get in the way, and you won't allow him, because Satan hates it when you do good. But Satan tries to twist things and makes the bad things seem good. But whenever you join together and you do something positive, you know what happens? It makes a better picture. And if you keep on doing that, and you know what? When you join hands with that person and you show the person that you care, you know what happens? Something happens. God lifts you up and you get so blessed. And it's such a blessing that I get to help people like you, and God blesses me to teach you guys and to explain to you guys what God wants me to say to you. And it's just a blessing. And I thank God, because I started from January 1st of this year, and I am not going to give up, because I know that I can help make a better picture for everyone if I join together my squiggly line with that straight line. Because there's sometimes people that see nothing in front of them. It's because they don't know how to look around. No one has taught them to take away those blinds. And we need to learn to teach people how to do away with those blinds. Tear down them walls. Let go. Let people help you. And if you are one of those that, I'm not saying that all of you, I'm saying there's some people. I was a straight line at one time where I didn't want to know anything. I didn't want anybody to tell me anything, because I thought I knew everything. And no one could tell me nothing that I didn't know that I know. And I was so ignorant. And I wish I wasn't like that. But you know what? Like I said in that post before, I said, you know what? If I knew then what I know now, I would not be the man I am today. And I agree with that 100%, because I would not want to change anything in my life what I've done. Because if I didn't struggle, if I didn't go through different things, I would not be blessed like I am now. Because I wouldn't know how to act. I wouldn't know how to respond. And it's not good. And just stay encouraged. Try to uplift each other. And just, if you guys ever get a chance, just open the door for someone. I've said that to you guys many times before. Say thank you to someone. Someone that gives you coffee in the morning, or someone who gives you a pencil in the morning whenever you start your school. Or if someone says, hey, you got the time? They tell you the time, say thank you. And just smile at someone. And you'll be surprised of how joining those gaps together will make you stronger. And the devil gets scared when you get stronger. And he gets even more scared whenever there's more people. Just try to encourage and not discourage each other. Try to include the people around you, even though it's hard at times. But just try. Okay? Everybody have a wonderful night or wonderful morning, whatever time it is. Okay? Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.